Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOS Sports, your daily guide to all those things that are happening in the Indian Premier League 2025 season. As always, I've got a power-packed lineup and the guest amongst the guests today. We've got Dwepen Datta joining us from Chennai, and then we've got Nitin Naik who joins us from Mumbai. We'll also have one more
Hi.
guest joining us very shortly. And welcome to the show, gentlemen. Starting off with you, Dwepen. We have an important game today. You're actually torn between what happened yesterday and what's going to happen today because yesterday was your Karam Bhumi, today is your Jan Bhumi. I'll not keep you away from that. Starting up with you, we'll start off with the game that happened yesterday, Chennai Super Kings. What's going wrong for them? We've uh, we've seen them going from bad to worse. They are forced to make changes which they don't usually like to
Hmm.
do, and the team is completely recast now. You
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
the reinforcements making runs. What's happening?
Everything has gone wrong for them. I asked exactly this question to Fleming yesterday. That did you get the for once did you get the auction strategy wrong? And uh, he acknowledged that they did get it wrong. That it was probably not the right way to go forward because the way the game has changed, those things, those variables, they have not considered. He even kind of apologized for initially being slightly rude for saying that that we do not have power hitters is nonsense. He apologized for that also. So there is an acceptance that everything has gone wrong from them, from team building, from the players that they have chosen. 10 crores for Ashwin, so much. Then Rahul Tripathi, Deepak Huda. These players have not performed in domestic, not performed in international, not performed in IPL. So on what basis are you taking them for? Like that was wrong, and that they have seen that they have gone wrong, and the tournament has gone out, and now in the middle they have started changing. Have got these guys Matre, Sheikh Rashid, who have been there with the team for 2 years. Now they are playing him. Your Devil Brevis. I hope Vansh Bedi also gets a chance to play. Andre Siddharth gets a chance to play. That's the best thing that you can do is form a good Indian core of young players going forward. They had a similar disaster in 2020. They experimented with a few Indian players, got Ruturaj, who is their captain. I hope they do that in the last five games and have some good players who will serve them going forward.
Yeah, I hope they play Andre Siddharth and Rachin Ravindra together because they look so similar. It's going to be difficult to pick who's who from that accidental twins, if I may say so. Nitin, coming to you about this Chennai Super Kings. I get a
Yeah.
feeling looking at Chennai Super Kings is that the T20 format changed during COVID. We went from being aggressive to ultra aggressive in during the COVID, and now we see they have pushed the envelope in the T20 format. Chennai Super Kings was still stuck in the time before COVID. Am I right in my assessment?
Yeah, very much. I think if you see their strike rates in the power play, if you see the way they, even the way they have built their side. I mean, I do not understand how they went for someone like a Deepak Huda, who, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, all of you. I mean, I think for a guy who has played almost 100 IPL matches, I think he has an average of 17 with a strike rate of around 125. And I mean, I don't understand how you get. I mean, how you can bid for players like these. Also, Vijay Shankar, I think, was a very very bad buy for them. And this whole Chandresh, what also puzzled me is whenever they played in Chennai, then there was seldom any talk about pitches. It's only this season that we have seen that they have started talking so much about the pitches that they're playing on. Dhoni yesterday said that the red soil pitch that was there in before 2010, those were the pitches that suited us. But they have been playing very well on slow, low black soil pitches also. Now, all of a sudden, just because the team is losing, they have kind of, and yesterday, I mean, he was almost very, very sarcastic at the toss interview that he did. He said that hope that the Cubans get it right going forward. They are trying their best. So all these are very very defeatist statements, which really do not suit a five-time champion team.
Interesting. We've also got Gaurav Gupta joining us straight from the Wankhede Stadium. Gaurav, thanks a lot for joining us. Tomorrow is a big game, Mumbai Lucknow. But first, focusing on this Chennai team, they lost to Hyderabad last night. Can they still qualify, or it's technically done for Chennai?
Firstly, a big hi to all of you, and apologies for being a bit late as I was occupied with pre-match work. CSK, I think they're almost out. I mean, I don't know if even if they win all their remaining games, I think they will need a lot to happen. A lot of other teams will have to mess up for them to have some sort of a chance to, and they should not, as I believe
I think we are struggling with Gaurav's internet. Dwepan, a question to you about. Yeah,
yeah.
Gaurav, go
Am I
on. You're
audible?
back. Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I was saying that I believe some former cricketers said that it's better that they finish 10th and last after what has transpired, rather than they find an escape route and they finish 6th, 7th, and then they somehow they keep maintaining this approach, because at least if they finish last and this is a proper debacle, then it will give them an opportunity and this thing, wake up call that they need to start from scratch, and they need to completely abandon their policy of keeping investing in these tried and tested players, starting from their captain. I think they need a lot of overhaul. It is high time that Dhoni lets go of his love affair with CSK. They start under a new captain, maybe Rituraj Gaikwad or Shivam Dubey, or I don't know who else, but, and build a completely new team for the future. Otherwise वो उनका थोड़ा Man United जैसा सीन हो रहा है. Once a very glorious club, but just suffering one defeat after the other, and enduring bats. I foresee this struggle to happen to go on for a few years, unless they don't improve their approach. And I'm so glad that they have changed. ऐसा नहीं है. They have blooded Ayush Matre, who actually should have been blooded by the Mumbai Indians, but then CSK have a good habit of investing in good Mumbai players, as we have seen in the past with Tushar Deshpande, Shardul Thakur, Shivam Dubey. So I was glad to see them, blood Deval Brevis in the last match last night, and several other players. I think, and Sheikh Rashid also. So I think it will pay off in the future. We need to be patient with them. They are showing signs of improving, but the culling needs to start at the top.
Interesting. Dwepan, the team that they lost to, Sunrisers Hyderabad, are also sort of struggling, and they have their own share of troubles. Uh, Harshal Patel, who everybody called him Purple Patel for his performances in the IPL and picking up the purple cap, picked up 4 wickets again. Last year also he was doing well. This year also he's doing well. What is it about IPL and Harshal Patel? He was picked in India's T20 squad, didn't quite cut it, but he's back at the IPL and he's picking up wickets.
As far as yesterday was concerned, he didn't do anything fantastic. His story started with that magnificent catch by Kamindu Mendes. It was a crazy catch that he took at long off. Yes, at long off, and then from there it started, and then he was just bowling that line, and the innings had halted by then. By the time he had come into bowl, the innings was already in doldrums. Like they had lost wickets, and he just bowled the length that he had to bowl, a wideish length. Did not get, and Dhoni was terrible yesterday. Got out, and then it just, like Harshal Patel. It so happened that he got a couple of more wickets. There was nothing fantastic about Harshal Patel yesterday. CSK were atrocious, outright atrocious with their batting.
Nitin, do you also agree with Dwepan on Harshal?
Yeah, also I think yesterday the wicket also I think suited him a bit. I think he does well on pitches that slightly grip and they hold. He has the slower ones which are well disguised. But we've also seen him go for runs. I mean, on true pitches, I do not know how how successful he would be. I doubt. I mean, I think there was what one. Which year was that where Jadeja hit him for about 5 sixes? Jadeja
21
hit him for
most
5-6.
probably.
21, yeah.
Yeah.
The COVID IPL, yeah. So he's also gone for runs on true pitches. So um, yesterday's wicket suited him. But I think if he's looking for an India recall, I really do not think that uh, an India recall is possible for him, because I think India have got more skilled bowlers than Harshal Patel.
Yeah, Gaurav, that's the thing about this time in the IPL. There have been lesser number of players that everybody said he should be in the team. He should be in the team, and that's been good about this IPL. That lesser number of players, everybody said that this person has to be in the Indian T20 team. Unlike previous years, when anybody bowls even one ball of 145, immediately people would say that he should be in the Indian T20 team. So that's a good thing about it.
See, Chandresh, a few players who made it to the Indian team, and I think Harshal Patel was one of them through the IPL. I think he had a great 2021 IPL. Nitin will be more precise with this because I think he took a lot of 5 wicket hauls also, I think, one or two. And then he came into the Indian team. And I think the problem with him and a few others like him was that they were lacking in pace or direction. For example, and Umran Malik. And we sort of thought that okay, now our T20 team will be really strong because we have a Harshal Patel or we have a Umran Malik or so on and so forth. But these unfortunately they have been. I mean, in the IPL things are a bit different, and in international cricket I think it gets very difficult because with Harshal I remember that before the T20 World Cup, Australia and South Africa had come here, and on the flat wickets he was cannon fodder, and he had a very bad time in the 6 matches that happened here, because of which I think the head coach Rahul Dravid lost confidence in him, and I remember speaking to the selectors and they were upset that उसको T22 वर्ल्ड कप में एक भी मैच नहीं खिलाया हेड कोच राहुल द्रविड़ उस समय जो थे उन्होंने एंड दे प्रेफर्ड भुवी एंड द अदर्स आई थिंक शमी वाज देयर and one more guy and this guy was not given opportunities, but then I think lack of pace contributes to that, and सिर्फ variations पे आप survive नहीं कर सकते unless you are a Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar also ultimately had lost his place in the Indian team because again only on swing you cannot survive. Bhuvneshwar, when he was really sharp, he had a good few years in international cricket. So I guess that is the big drawback with Harshal. He will There will be a lot of in IPL. Perhaps he might still survive with variations, like we have seen Sandeep Sharma. He will get hammered, but he'll pick up wickets because he's got a few good slower ball and so variations and all. Out and out fast bowlers get really hammered in the IPL, especially after the impact player rule. As Ravi Bishnoi was telling us yesterday in the pre-match press conference that bowlers now have a very little chance against batters with extra batsmen there. सब मारने को जा रहे हैं. So I think that is where you have lesser bowlers who are in India contention for the last 3 years perhaps. जब से impact player rule आया.
Yeah, Nitin, you wanted to make a point?
No.
Okay, so just talking about the other India bowler in that Hyderabad lineup, Mohammed Shami. The weapon we saw that in a few games he was looking lackluster. He was easy cannon fodder for the batters. Yesterday he bowled. He took a wicket of the very first ball, dismissing Abhishek Sharma. How do you see Mohammad Shami in this tournament? He also created a record of sorts yesterday. For the fourth time, he picked up a wicket of the first ball. So how do you see Mohammad Shami in the T20 format?
Not great, Chandesh. I think like IPL he will play because he is a senior bowler who knows where to like with all the experience that he has. He will continue playing, but like his India career is over. India white ball career should be at least over. At least I don't see him coming back. There is no reason for him to come back into the Indian white ball setup going forward. Like way he is bowling, his fielding is a liability. Taking everything into consideration, he's not a white ball bowler anymore. But because it is IPL, because it allows experience to flourish at one level. There could be small patches where he can come good. So he will be okay for IPL in 3-4 games, maybe in a 14 or 16 game stint. But that is about all.
Nitin, we saw the interesting thing in that match against Mumbai where he bowled 3 overs, then they subbed him. And
Yeah.
the game before that, he went for 75 in his 4 overs. He was just putting the ball on the slot, telling Marcus Stoinis, please hit me. And that Mumbai game also, it was very strange that after he had bowled 3 overs, they brought in Rahul Chahar,
Yeah,
which was quite
yeah,
odd
yeah.
the way, but they used the loophole in the rule. How do you see Mohammad Shami in this IPL or in T20 format?
I think he can be used well if he finishes his 4 overs in the power play, or he bowls four in a at a stretch, and he's not brought back for the death overs. I think where he really struggles is in the death overs. I very rarely have I seen him perform very well, in the death overs. Now maybe with the saliva rule, I do not know. But what has been disappointing for me is he hasn't let he hasn't really evolved as a T20 bowler. Who I mean I thought that after that great season that he had with GT, 2023 I think it was. I thought that he had made a transition into a very good T20 bowler, but T20 bowling, I don't think he, as I think Ashwin made a beautiful point in one of his YouTube channels interactions that he had. He said that T20 bowling sometimes is also bowling six bad balls well. And I think with Shami, I think he gets very predictable with the line and length that he does. I think that's one of the reasons why even Jadeja has not been a very good T20 bowler, because he's too accurate and the batsmen kind of line him up.
What's the thinking like, Gaurav, in the Indian think tank about Mohammad Shami in the T20 format? We can still look at him in the one day format, T20 format, Asia Cup, T20 World Cup, a bridge too far for him?
I think Chandesh, T20 Asia Cup तो खैर मुझे लग रहा है थोड़ा खतरे में है considering what is happening around this thing. But overall, I think when it comes to Shami, थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है T20 इसको लेके I'm not too sure if the Indian team is too confident about him. If you see the England series also, that home England series, he wasn't played consistently, although he was coming back from an injury. But just when the match would be about to begin, we would learn that Shami has been rested. They've got a lot of options in T20 cricket. The T20 team has a lot of options. In the 50 overs game, he has fitted in beautifully. But I still think he's not back at his best, and I don't know whether back वो लेवल की bowling कर पाएंगे कि नहीं. जो नितिन अभी बोल रहे थे कि जो गुजरात टाइटंस के लिए उन्होंने डाली 2-3 साल, and I think Gujarat Titans have been very wise to let him go, and even more wiser to pick up Mohammad Siraj. I think their decision has hit the bullseye completely. To punt on Siraj and to let go Mohammad Shami. I think from what my sources are telling me, I think he's struggling with fitness issues also at SRH. I'm not too sure what they are, but he's not looking at 100%. In fact, I was not entirely convinced with his performance in the Champions Trophy. Also, despite the fact that he picked a lot of wickets, he can bowl much better and much faster. And in the final, I think he got caned by Michael Bracewell, and in the last few overs, I think. Although both the seamers had a bad game, but Shami was struggling a bit. So I think he needs to. I think he needs to take a call whether he wants to focus on red ball cricket, and I don't know whether going forward on the England tour he will be one of our main bowlers. रोहित शर्मा ने बहुत clearly बोल दिया है माइकल क्लार्क को अपने पॉडकास्ट में कि I'm looking at Bumrah and Shami to be sort of fresh for the England tour and fit and firing, and I fear that they don't pick up an injury in the IPL. So that means Shami is in the fray, but I don't know how much on the England tour he'll be effective, honestly.
So basically, Gaurav, you fear about two players being injured or fit. I fear that Rohit Sharma has picked himself for the England tour. Uh,
Yes,
so,
obviously.
so you're missing
And
that point.
decided, and
He's,
yeah, and played the super selector also by picking players on his own.
yeah, yeah. In 9 minutes, he'll have the toss for today's game. Today's a Saturday. Single header from now on till the end of the IPL. Today is yet another big day for Dwaipan as well, because, like I said before, yesterday was his Karam Bhumi. Today is his Jan Bhumi, playing at the Eden Gardens, Kolkata against Punjab. Uh, so, how do you look at this contest? Because Kolkata seemed to decide that we need 12 players for a game with the impact player. The two players that are confirmed always before anything is Sunil Narine and Andre Russell. We can pick the others around them. That's the theme, I suppose, in Kolkata Knight Riders.
See, Kolkata had no business losing in that 111 game. Like that is where their I think their campaign is unraveling. Like that was a one game. Like even if you struggle, there was no way they could have lost chasing 111 in today's day and age in T20 cricket. It cannot happen. So if once that happened, then they lost another game, and now things are becoming tricky. Now they have to win every game, and then still it might not be enough. So there is a lot of problems, and I think there is a talk about Rovman Powell getting a game somewhere. But in whose place will he come in? Because as you said, these two guys are never dropped. So KKR messed it up. KKR had, I think they had the team, though they had overpaid for Venkatesh Iyer. Venkatesh Iyer is not a whatever 24 crore player. They had overpaid for him, but still they had the team. But that one game against Punjab Kings where they lost with 100 against 111, that is where they have lost the script, lost the marbles, lost everything. And I think that defeat is going to hurt them, and they're not going to make the last four.
Nitin, Sunil Narayan being there and Andre Russell, uh, the leadership also seems to be very weak. There are so many people now in the coaching staff. You've got Chandrakant Pandit, you've got Abhishek Nair, you've got Carl Crow, you also got Otis Gibson, Bharat Arun. I mean, you need two
Bravo,
fast bowling. Bravo, you've got,
bravo. Yeah,
yeah, there are so many people in that lineup. You need Bharat Arun and Otis Gibson. I didn't know that
yeah,
you had that many
yeah.
great bowlers there.
Yeah, and I think they've been very muddled in the way they've approached. I mean, get letting go of obviously Phil Salt and Shreyas Iyer obviously has hurt them very very badly. I also don't think that getting in Rahane to captain I don't think was a very very smart move, because he is not he. We I think they got swayed by what he did in the Mushtaq Ali, but I think the IPL is several grades higher than what the kind of bowlers that you get to play in the Mushtaq Ali. And I think although he looked good for a couple of innings here and there, especially in that game against Lucknow, he batted very well at the Eden Gardens. Plus, there has been too much talk again of the kind of pitches that they're playing on, the skirmishes with the curator, the statements in the media. They kind of, I think they just, these kind of things just drain away your energies and your focus, and they don't allow you to play uh, up to your potential. And again, I think Russell has been a huge disappointment. He had such a fabulous season with both bat and ball the last year, but obviously here, he hasn't delivered. And they need again, last match I think, getting Ankrish Raghuvanshi to come in and bat at 9. I mean, that's just it's just not done. So there's been a lot of muddled thinking, and as Dwaipayan said, Venkatesh Iyer overpaid. I think what they did under Morgan in that 2021 season, when I think they were one out of 5 games in India before they moved to the UAE, and then they I think they won 7 or 8 games out of 9. So what happened there was, I think they promoted Venkatesh Iyer to open with Shubman Gill, and I think maybe that is something they need to try here. Whether that will happen, I don't know. I think they are compelled almost to use Sunil Narayan as an opener. Why, I don't know. I mean, if they're happy getting 10 or 15 of 5 or 6 balls every time, then good luck to them. But I think since it's reached desperate situation now. I would rather have Venkatesh Iyer opening.
Gaurav, on the other hand, you've got Punjab Kings, Shreyas Iyer, returning to Kolkata after last year. He has a point to prove to Kolkata in Kolkata. Will he be looking at it like that?
I think I'm sure कहीं ना कहीं तो वो खुन्नस होगी, and I think there was a clearly breakdown of communication, and I would blame KKR for it, because I'm sure you have ways to this thing, sort of sit down with the player and अगर यही 23.75 crores आपको देने थे, correct me if I'm wrong with the figure, to Venkatesh Iyer, and you might have as well, sat down with Shreyas Iyer and given him a final figure, thrown him a final figure that, look, this is what we can afford. This is what we want you there as the captain, because clearly he had an impact as a captain. I think they really underestimated him as a player and as a captain. Especially after, I mean, he had just the way he's captained Mumbai to the Mushtaq Ali title, and beyond that also the way he has batted, been part of so many triumphant, this thing, the way he's come back into the Indian team. I think they underestimated his batting abilities. Because उन्होंने actually बहुत कम किया contribute किया था श्रेयस अय्यर ने last year, because he was not needed. The others were firing. सुनील नारायण का तो मुझे लगता है जब से वो बैट चेक हुआ है तब से प्रॉब्लम में आ गए हैं वो. Because edges of his bat were also flying for sixes, and I think since then he has been a bit sort of I don't know, dent in confidence, or some sort of this thing. He's not the same batter anymore. So I think with Shreyas Iyer, definitely there was a bit of a mismanagement का case था वो पूरा. They should have tried harder to retain him and thrown him a good big figure, knowing that there were teams chasing him out there. And he did go for I mean, Rishabh Pant से कुछ 25-30 लाख की कम में तो गए हुए eventually. So I mean, and there was, I mean, I remember having a conversation with Chandu sir just before the the day of the retentions, and I asked him why on earth are you not retaining Mitchell Stark and Phil Salt? They should be your new Narayan and Russell rather than hanging on to Deadwood. No, he said, no, these are our old guards, and these are our players who have always sort of, we've backed them and they've come good, and but then every good thing has an expiry date. I think they are having the same issues that CSK have had, hanging on to Deadwood, and that is where they've paid the price. I think same problem KKR का हुआ है जो CSK का हुआ है. And going forward, I don't know. I mean, there are at least two teams जिनको शायद अगर अभी मौका मिले तो दोबारा ग्रैंड ऑप्शन करवाए वो, so that to rebuild their team.
In the meantime, news coming in from Kolkata is that Rovman Powell has been given his debut cap by Abhishek Nair. And that's the news coming in. Rovman Powell finally making an appearance, so that's good news. Dwapan, two curious things. BCCI has still not announced that Abhishek Nair is out of the Indian team, but he's already joined KKR. Only sources have told Gaurav and few others. And this Rovman Powell not being used so far. How do you see that?
Abhishek Nair thing though it is Indian cricket. It is how it functions. I hope that something was communicated to him on the basis of which he did what he did. So that is
I
another.
hope sources didn't tell him.
I hope so. I hope so. The sources, but then the sources, I don't know. but then the sources must have told him, just that they were not sources when they told him to Abhishek Nair. They were saying it in another capacity, not as sources. So yeah, and the
Rovman Powell.
Rovman Powell, I'm guessing who are they dropping? Are they dropping Russell?
That news we'll know shortly.
Yeah, because see, initially with the team that they were playing, they were almost compelled to play those four foreigners. Like Sunil Narine, you are not going to drop. Andre Russell, you are not going to drop. You have to have a foreign wicket keeper because you don't have an Indian wicket keeper, and you need another foreign bowler, foreign paceman. So it was almost a kind of compulsion to play those four. So I am very interested to see who they have dropped. If it is Russell, then it's quite a move. Then it shows that they are moving in another direction now.
Nitin, how do you see Rovman Powell finally making his KKR debut?
Yeah, he had a couple of good seasons, one with Delhi and one with Rajasthan, I think, where he had those cameos and he won them a couple of games. Brilliant hitter of the ball. I think he also would be having some points to prove after being unceremoniously dropped as West Indies T20 captain. So I just hope that he, all these players that they are now punting on, they don't look at them as a 10 or 12 ball player. I think Powell can go a little higher up and, give them that. I think what's happened now is, apart from that innings against LSG, I don't think KKR have had, what have they had a 50-run partnership as as openers. I don't think they've had a 50-run
No,
opening partnership yet.
I think
Yeah.
they had
no,
a
no.
So
CSK against CSK. I think they had no
they
like
had a 50-run
they
opening.
had
So
they're chasing 100.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah.
could be like
So
somewhere close. Yeah, close. Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
so I know, so that's where the problems lie. I mean, you see all the teams that have done well, including now MI coming back. I think uh, their top two or three are delivering, and here with KKR now with Ajinkya Rahane also losing a bit of steam and confidence after that 111 blowout. I think they need someone who can take the game on, and I think they're lacking a little bit of power. And I think Venkatesh Iyer, along with I don't know who are the other opening players that they'll have to I think go in with Gurbaz. I think even Decock I don't think has really done very well. So they've got serious problems. I think when they built this team in the auctions, they looked at players like they must have thanked their lucky stars that they got someone like Decock for a sum of 2 crores, but they never really expected that all of the key players will lose form together, and I think that's exactly what's happened with KKR, and obviously making Ajinkya Rahane as captain I don't think was a very smart move.
Yeah, the news coming in from Eden Gardens is that Punjab has won the toss and will bat, and they've got back Glenn Maxwell and Azmatullah Omarzai, and so that's the news coming in from Kolkata. Gaurav, just like Andre Russell and Sunil Narayan are favorites for Kolkata, Maxwell is somebody that Ricky Ponting can't seem to keep him away from the playing 11 for too long. He's also been brought back into the 11. Uh, how do you see this contest? Kolkata, Punjab, Punjab starting favorite.
100% Punjab are starting the favorites. I mean, they've got most of their bases covered, and I think Maxwell bowling देते हैं उनको 4 ओवर उनका जो एक वो ऑफ स्पिन डालते हैं वो I think that is what on slower wickets that really helps. And I think Ponting is still hoping for the day when he really sort of explodes. And I think because the rest of the batting is pretty okay, with guys like Shreyas, Nihal Vadera there as a fine finisher. The two openers are doing well. Priyansh and Prab Simran. So I think the idea is that Maxwell is like a wild card, like a joker in the pack. कि suddenly एक दिन अगर वो चल गए and if he gets his form back, तो फिर वो मतलब चलते रहेंगे and then he might even win you the tournament. I think he's just Ponting is just punting on him and praying for the day कि वो चल जाएंगे. I agree that it's a very risky decision considering that he's keeping out Marcus Stoinis because of that. I'm not sure whether that has happened today, but I think that is the punt that he's taking with Maxwell. And coming back to one more point, Abhishek Nair, by the way, has joined one more team as the mentor in the T20 Mumbai League. So he's getting a lot of job offers since his sacking in the as the India assistant coach.
Interesting. He's clearly the man in demand. Other news coming in from Eden Gardens is that Chetan Sakaria has come in for Ramandeep Singh. He's making his KKR debut, Chetan Sakaria, and Powell has come in for Moeen Ali. So Andre Russell is not going anywhere. Andre Russell is there, very much there, and Sunil Narayan is also not going anywhere. So Moeen Ali is the dispensable factor over here. So before we finish, Dwepen, who's winning, KKR or Punjab?
No, given the current form, seems to be Punjab. Like KKR is hoping to pull off an upset. So on current form, Punjab.
Nitin?
I get a feeling that KKR will win tonight. I just feel that the inclusion of Powell might just he's also is one of my favorite West Indian players. So really looking forward to watching him play, and I hope that Kolkata it'll just make the league a little bit more interesting if they can find a second wind. And maybe memories of 2014, when they had a disastrous UAE leg, and when they came back to India. And I think one match in Ahmedabad, I think they messed up despite being 100 for no loss and then losing from there, chasing 160 or 170, and then from there they ended up winning 7 in a row to win the title. So maybe something like that. But then again, but for this game, I think I'll tip Calcutta to win.
Okay, there's one interesting question from somebody who's watching us right now, and I'll want to end it with that question only. It's about the Indian wicket keepers in the tournament. I'm starting with you, Gaurav. One Indian wicket keeper who's impressed you in this tournament.
Indian wicketkeeper. Let's first go through the list. Who all are there? I mean, there's Prab Simran.
Prabh
He's done
Simran.
well, but long way to go. Long way to go. So I will not really put him as somebody who's really impressed me. Who's there with CSK?
Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
Oh, yeah. So Thala, the most impressive keeper in the last 2 overs of the match. And okay, then who
So
else
you're
do we
looking
I
have?
at
think I think I
Hitesh.
think you'll be banned. I think you'll be banned by the Chennai crowd, huh? If ever you ask a question like that.
No, but the best Indian wicket keeper. If you say
Yes.
wicket keeper, then it's
Yeah.
still Dhoni. If wicket keeper
No,
batter,
no,
no. But
I'm
wicket
saying
keeper.
that. I'm saying, okay, let's pick the uncapped. No, not the uncapped. The
I,
Dhoni
I
also
wish we
comes in.
could pick. I wish we could pick Rishabh Pant, but he's in such a horrid run that I think the worst wicketkeeper of the tournament, this thing could go to him because of his
So
poor form.
the weapon, is it between KL Rahul and Jitesh Sharma in that sense?
Has to be KL Rahul. Like it is KL Rahul. There is not much doubt about it.
What about
KL Rahul.
Jitesh Sharma?
Jitesh Sharma has been good. Jitesh Sharma has been good. He has been alive. I really like that referral that he asked in that
Yeah,
game
yeah.
that they won. Like it was a very smart referral that changed the match. That shows that he's alive to situations. That so smart guy, good player. But KL Rahul is class. Is in a different class.
Nitin and Dhruv Jurel, he's messed up three chases in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
With his mindset, refusing a single, pushing for the second in that crucial chase against Delhi, and also in the previous game, has he gone back further? He's always there in the front in the Test squad, but in the white ball scheme of things, he's going back and back now with this season.
Yeah. I think he's especially that super over game and also even yesterday. I mean against RCB the day before rather. Uh, Anyone else in that situation, 18 runs, 12 balls. I mean that's game over. In At the Chinnaswamy especially. So and this the lack of game awareness to not just Uh, to not just dawdle in the middle overs and take the game deep every time. It doesn't work. It's Jurel. I am very impressed with Abhishek Porel. I that's one wild card that I would want to see. I mean, I want to see this kid play a little bit more. Maybe he's getting great opportunities with Delhi. I hope that he gets his chances with India.
See, just as Nitin was saying, the chest was swelling with pride for somebody on the show. He's smiling also right now. And
No, that is one
I didn't
sort of.
take any names. I didn't take any
No, no,
names.
no, I'm saying that is one sort of Ganguly pick that Hemang Badani has persisted with, and it has kind of
Yeah,
worked.
he looks very skilled. He looks very
Yeah,
skilled.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. On that note, I would request all of you watching the show to comment on this picks that we have had about the wicket keepers. Interesting discussion on the Indian wicket keepers. Not the usual suspects, different set of players that we have looked at in terms of wicket keepers. Comment about who do you think has been the most interesting performer so far as a wicket keeper in the IPL. That's it for today from us on the Beyond the Boundary show. Nitin, Gaurav, and Dwarpan, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless from all of us here on TOI Sports.